Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday, last Tuesday in November. Can you guys believe it's already almost December? I can't believe it. I cannot believe this year is like flown by. So if you are new here, if you're not for sure why you're here, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. You're probably going to want to take some notes, and you're definitely going to have some questions, I'm sure, and I want to get all of your questions answered. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I want you to understand, first of all, that I am not your physician, okay? So I'm not your doctor. So if you have any questions, please, of course, check with your healthcare practitioner or physician that you work with. The information that I'm going to share with you tonight is information. It is information regarding Lifewave, stem cell activation technology, and some of the other patches and how they work. Just a little background on me. I am a doctor of integrative medicine and functional medicine. And so I focus on all types of things holistic. When you're looking at alternative methods and modalities and lots of tools in my toolbox over the last 20 years. And so this company, this tool, the stem cell activation patch from Lifewave, I found about a year and a half ago. And so I have been utilizing this not only with my family and of course myself, my friends, but also in my practice and with other people, of course, tens of thousands of people all over the globe over the last year and a half. So what I'm going to share with you tonight, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the patch, what it is, what we call the science and technology, how it works, some frequently asked questions just to kind of cover the basis. And then I'll open it up for questions so you can ask your questions in the chat. So if you have them, just hang tight, hang on to them, write them down as I'm talking. But remember that, you know, not being your physician, and of course, this is information. I'm not here to say that this is going to treat or cure anything. Of course, I'm not diagnosing anything that's going on with you on your own health journey. So just keep that in mind. Got to make sure that we stay compliant. So with that being said, this technology looks like a little round Band-Aid. Okay. This is a non-transdermal patch. This is the X39 stem cell activation patch that I'm primarily going to talk to you about tonight, so you can understand how this technology works. So when I say non-transdermal means that nothing is transferring into the body. No substance, no chemical, no medicine, no supplement, no herb, nothing. This is totally different than your typical pain patch, nicotine patch, birth control patch, hormone patch, things like that. Very, very different. Those patches transfer something into your body. And so this is completely different. So you're probably going to go, okay, new brain cell I have to form for this. So being non-transdermal, how is it working then if there's nothing going into the skin? So this is what we call a wearable light technology. Okay, this is phototherapy, or photobiomodulation is the technical term. And I'm sure you're familiar with light therapy. How many of you guys have been to the maybe an acupuncturist or a holistic type of a practitioner or wellness center, and they have some type of red light therapy, right? Maybe they have red light beds, or they have the pads that you put on you to help with inflammation or pain, or maybe you've had a facial and the esthetician puts the red lights over your face to help with collagen and elastin, things like that. And so red light therapy is not new, right? Light therapy has been around for, I don't know, tens of thousands of years. But red light therapy, blue light therapy, I know my acupuncturist uses the wands with the different color lights to signal different things on the acupuncture points. And so this patch does not use an outside light source. It uses your light source, your body's heat or light. We emit a low-level infrared light. If you feel your chest right now, you're 98.6-ish, okay? So how do we know this? Well, if we go outside right now, it's dark. I know some of you may be on the West Coast, it's not, but here on the East Coast, it is dark outside. And so if I went outside, I could not see my next door neighbor or the horse or the dog or the coyote, whatever, unless I had night vision goggles. So this patch works with the heat that our body emits. If I go outside, I can see that through night vision goggles, right? You can see the color of the person or the animal, blue, red, green, yellow, whatever. And so when you put the patch on our body's light, or heat that we emit reflects back a specific signal, a specific wavelength of light actually from this patch. So you see that white part? So embedded in that white part is a crystal lattice structure. It's a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, sugars, water, oxygen. And so that lattice structure that's embedded in here, our body's heat reflects back a specific wavelength of light from that structure, okay, into our body. So just much like a red light would be putting a wavelength of light into the body, this patch reflects back our body's light. And of course, that specific wavelength of light enters the body. And that wavelength of light actually signals your body to activate, elevate, mobilize its own stem cells. So let's go over this. Put the patch on. Okay, great, fantastic. You're actually you can put it on the back of your neck or below your belly button in the morning. Leave it on 12 hours. Stick it on anywhere you want. I don't care, the top of your big toe. But you're going to put it on. You're going to leave it on 12 hours during the day. And during that time, it's activating, elevating, mobilizing your own stem cells, actually resetting a third of your genes back to their young, youthful state. How do we know this? How can we say this is happening? Maybe you put it on, you don't feel anything. How do you know it's working? Because we've done clinical studies. The inventor of this technology, his name's David Schmidt, and he started Lifewave 20 years ago after he was working with the Navy SEALs. And so he spent 10 years in the lab trying to figure out how to signal the body to activate and mobilize its own stem cells. But during the last 20 years, he's done over 90 clinical studies with people. And so we can show through the studies the effectiveness of this actually elevating our body's own stem cell production, resetting a third of those genes back to their young, youthful state. We see this through the studies, through people, right? Through blood work and through different tests that we're testing in the urine and things like that with our participants in our studies. So if you want to see that information, we are happy to share it with you. If you go to a website, it's startx39now.com. And Laura just put it in the chat for you, startx39now.com. You'll be able to see David. You'll hear from David. You'll see all the science and technology there, all the different videos. Lots of practitioners and doctors are sharing their information on there as well, too, about using this technology. And then, of course, you can click on the link that says patents and studies, and you'll see all the studies right there in one spot and all the patents. This patch here has a 20-year patent on it alone. So we put the patch on, it's mobilizing and activating our stem cells, resetting them back to their young, youthful state. What does that mean for me? Like, what does that mean is going to happen to me? And I think this is probably the most important thing you want to know, right? Okay, great. I really don't understand how it works, Staci, but what's it going to do for me? So what it's going to do initially, all right, here's what we see from about 80% of the participants from the studies and about 80% of the people in general, right? We see pain reduction when you put this on. We see faster wound healing, faster recovery from activity and fitness, more mental clarity, concentration, focus, energy, deeper sleep, REM sleep. We see these things happening in about the first 3 to 6 weeks. So remember, this is regenerative medicine, okay? And so we're looking at regenerating the body, repairing, restoring, rejuvenating all the cells and tissues and organs in the body. So this is not, throw it on and then poof, all my problems for the last 20 years are gone. But know that most people do experience results in the first 3 to 6 weeks. Sometimes it's earlier. We have people that feel something in the first couple days. I didn't personally, but my husband did. So we're all different, and know that that's okay, that it's going to take some time for your body to repair. This gets to the root of the problem. Now, how does it get to the root of the problem? People want to know that. Well, when you know what stem cells are, then it makes perfect sense. I've personally been researching stem cells for over 20 years. I banked both of my kids' cord blood, and I did over 10 years of different type of stem cell therapies in and out of the country with my daughter. Stem cells are the holy grail of healing. We have an abundance of them when we're young. That's why we're young, we're youthful, we're vibrant, right? You don't have 5-year-olds with back pain or 10-year-olds with heart disease or 15-year-olds with gray hair. It just doesn't happen because their bodies are young and youthful. They have an abundance of stem cells that are on board to keep them full of energy, sleeping amazing, go, 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 nonstop, fall down, break a bone, and then pick up and take off the next day. If grandma falls down, breaks a bone, she's not getting back up, right? I mean, it's not a good situation. And it's because her body's stem cell production is not what it was when she was younger. I don't know if you know this or not, But when you're in your 30s, 30s is actually middle-aged. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm 50, that's middle-aged. The average life expectancy is not 100. Most people are not living to 100. Most people are gone by their 70s or 80s. And so when you look at mid-30s, that is your middle age. And we see that in the blood work, right? We see that in our stem cells. By the time in your 30s, your body only has about half the stem cells active and working that you did when you were a kid. And by the time in your 60s, there's less than 10%. 70s, 80s, there are none detectable in your bloodstream at all. They're dormant. They're not doing anything. They're old. They're wore out. Okay. They're like, I've tried to keep you alive all this time. And so these stem cells, your stem cells, are pluripotent, which means they can change into any cell, tissue, or organ that your body needs. Your body has its own innate ability to know how to heal itself. It just does, right? Like, think about it. When you cut your finger or you break your bone, it's not the Band-Aid or the cast that's healing your body. It's your body's stem cells. That's what's going to work to repair that cut, to rejuvenate that bone, to restore that bone, right? Regenerate that bone. It's your body's own stem cells. And so this technology, which is the only thing on the planet, right? Like this technology signals your body to do what it did when it was a child: repair, regenerate, restore, rejuvenate, keep that body young and youthful. And so it has the ability to signal your body's stem cells to go to work, to do that immediately, resetting those genes to their young, youthful state, which means you have young, youthful cells in your body. So you have old liver cells, you had old heart tissue, you have old pancreas, all your cells are older, right? They've aged. So this technology takes those old cells and makes them young again, new again, reverses the functionality of your cells and organs and tissues. And again, startx39now.com has all of our clinical studies. Everything is right there for you to see. And you can see that this is actually what's happening with people through the scientific data, through the studies. And they've been done all over the world, all over the globe, with doctors and practitioners all over. So that's the science of it. You take it. The big thing is you got to put it on in the morning, and you got to leave it on 12 hours, and then you take it off and you throw it away. During that 12-hour period of time, you want to stay hydrated. Half your body weight in ounces in water. Okay, if you don't like water, soak it in pineapple or lemon or lime or strawberry, whatever. I don't care. Just drink half your body weight in ounces in water every day. It's really important you stay hydrated. We need that water for the conductivity in our cells with the light. Okay, so your body is mostly water, but your cells are made up of light. They are literally trillions of cells of light. We can see that under a microscope. And so staying hydrated is super important. So you guys, when you take it off, you throw it away, you can put it in your pet bed. A lot of you have pets, and it's really important. We want to keep our pets young and healthy. You can put it in your pet bed or on the collar or stick it on your pet and then take it off of them the next day, right? And they don't have to have it on 12 hours. It doesn't really matter, but that'll help them to stay young and youthful as well too. Or just throw it away. That's what we do. We have young dogs. So we have a 8-month-old puppy and a 4-year-old dog. And so they're young and youthful and playful. So we don't put our patches on them. But a lot of people do have older pets. And this works for dogs, cats, cows, horses, chicken, you name it. But once you take it off and throw it away, it's done. Okay. So that lattice structure that's on the inside of that and that white part, it's dissipating, right? It's no longer staying together. It's communicated with your body during that 12 hours. It's no longer effective. And obviously your body needs a break. It's going to rejuvenate and repair itself in that 12 hours that it's off. And you're going to get up the next morning, you're going to do it again. And people always want to know, like, how long do I have to wear this? Is this something I have to do for the rest of my life? Or can I just wear this for 30 days and all my problems are fixed? Well, here's what I want you to look at, okay? So the general rule of thumb is 1 month for every 10 years you are old to get your body up to that point where it's at its full stem cell activation again. So if you're in your 40s, 4 months, 50s, 5 months, 66 months, 77 months, or just stop patching whenever you want to start aging again. The science shows us that we literally can reverse our cells and tissues and organs back to age 25 and hang out there, right? And so that's really the crazy part about this technology. It seems too good to be true, right? People tell me all the time, this does not even seem real. And I'm like, well, what are you doing for the next 6 months? You're either going to be 6 months older, or you could be 8 years younger. But that's what our science and technology shows us. So we stay using the patch as long as you want. It's totally up to you. Remember, it's regenerative medicine. So let's say you patched for 6 months, okay? You've repaired your heart, you repaired your liver, your kidneys are functioning better, you're sleeping better than you ever have, you have zero pain, you feel on top of your game. What happens if you stop patching after that 6 months? Well, you turn into a pumpkin. No, you really don't. Okay, we're done with the fall, right? So no more pumpkins. What happens is your body is regenerated. Those organs and cells and tissues have regenerated. And so if you stop patching, it's perfectly fine. Your body's just going to start aging from that point forward, just like it normally was. But the regeneration that you gained, your cells and organs function better. And that's a huge benefit to using this technology. And so know that, literally for the price of a cup of coffee a day, it's something that's very affordable. It's obviously 100% effective. It's definitely doing exactly what we say it's doing, resetting your body back to its young, youthful state, reversing the functionality of your cells and tissues and organs. And it's helping your body with zero side effects, zero contraindications to any medications or supplements or therapies or treatments that you're currently doing. And know that there's a compound effect. The longer you use this patch, the more benefits you have. Because of that, the gene expression in the body, every gene expresses to one or two other genes. So yes, we're going to reset a third of them right out of the gate, but that compound effect of using this patch day after day, week after week, month after month, that's where we really start to see massive, massive changes in people. A lot of people have grocery lists of problems, symptoms, issues, things they would like to check off to help them have a better quality of life. The longer you use the patch, the more that you get to check off that list. And so you literally can live a life where you're pain-free, you sleep amazing, your brain is functioning correctly, and you don't have the health conditions or issues or symptoms that you were dealing with before. How fast is that going to happen for you? I honestly don't know. There is not one single person on this planet that has the inside the same as another person. We've all had different things we've been exposed to. We all eat different foods and we have different lifestyles and we've had different injuries or surgeries or stress. And so everything's very different. The body is very complex, but again, the body knows how to heal itself. And that's what it was created to do, right? With those stem cells. And so being able to signal your body to activate, mobilize, and reset its own stem cells again, that gives your body the ability to go to work to repair itself again, like it did when it was younger, with, again, no side effects, no contraindications, nothing to worry about. You literally are putting this patch on and going about your day. You don't have to worry about your body assimilating or digesting any type of, supplement or herb or anything like that. You don't have to go anywhere to have it done. And I'll tell you, I work with hundreds and hundreds of doctors and practitioners around the globe. We all have tools in our toolbox. We all have things that we use, that we work with our patients, our clients with, that help them improve their quality of life. This is something in my 20 years of holistic health that I have seen that is far surpassed anything else I've ever seen, anything I've ever done with my daughter. I've never seen anything be this simple, easy, effective, and affordable, and literally change lives every single day for the better, right? And not having to do anything, but just put it on and go about your day and know that I'm doing that every day and I'm improving my quality of life. So that's kind of the gist of it. Like I said, we do have other patches. I'm not going to get into all of those, of course. The only thing I do want to mention is our Eon patch. And the Eon patch is a patch that reduces inflammation. So the X39 stem cell activation patch is the one I just told you all about. This patch is different. It signals our peptide in our liver to reduce the inflammatory markers in our body. We know that inflammation is the root cause of disease in the physical body. We can see that. And so when you increase and activate, mobilize your own stem cells, they're going to go to the areas that you have inflammation. They want to repair those areas. And so we find, again, biology, looking at the body, we find that those stem cells, a majority of them, they get consumed. A lot of them are consumed by the inflammation. That's just what happens. It's kind of like a moth to a flame. So this was the #1 selling patch that David ever invented in almost 20 years, until this came out 3 years ago. And the reason why is because of, again, inflammation being the root cause of disease and problems in the body. And so when we reduce the inflammation, at the same time we're increasing stem cell production, you set the body up for a more rapid, dramatic healing experience. We call this the dynamic duo, the X39 and the Eon. And so having these two on board because you guys are going to ask me questions, and I'm going to mention a few other patches here or there, I'm sure, but I want you to understand that this is what David recommends. David says, this is our workhorse. This right here is the main patch that every single person on this planet would benefit from utilizing because of the ability to help the body repair and rejuvenate itself. This patch right here is number 2 that needs to go with it. If you were to do a stem cell injection, let's say in your shoulder, and you injected 2 million stem cells in your shoulder, the inflammation, obviously you have shoulder problems, you have pain, you have lack of mobility, range of motion, that kind of stuff. The inflammation is going to consume probably 1.8 million of those stem cells, and you're going to be left with 200,000 to go to work. If you reduce inflammation at the same time, you're getting all 200,000 of those stem cells. And so again, we're not injecting, or 2 million, we're not injecting stem cells. We are signaling our body to do what it did when it was younger, which is to have more of them mobile and active in our body. So reducing inflammation is really important. And this is a beautiful thing about these patches too. You can put them both on the back of your neck. You can put them below your belly button, or you can actually stick them anywhere on your body you want. It really does not matter. They don't need to be on an area where there's pain or inflammation, but they can. It's totally up to you because they're working systemically. So I want you to know that everything you tell me, I'm going to tell you to start with X39 and Eon. That's what I want you to look at. If there's some other things you want to look at, patches, we can definitely talk about that, but we always want to start with X39 and Eon for every single thing. And this is a great starting point for every single person, because we know that inflammation is a massive indicator in when we look at mortality rates, right? When we look at the outside of the body, we can see people that are dealing with inflammation because they're aging, they look older. And so when you reduce the inflammation on the inside, then the outside of the body looks younger. And obviously the inside of the body feels younger. So okay, I want to get your questions answered. So one of our first questions was, would the X39 49 IceWave be the 3 patches to help with arthritis, severe scoliosis, and pain? And so we have a pain protocol. The pain protocol uses X39, it uses Eon, and it uses IceWave. You can use X49 as well too. It's not designed to eliminate pain, but you can use it. It's totally up to you. But using the X39, I have a little sleeve, we call these sleeves, the Eon, right? This is going to get to the root of the problem and fix whatever is causing the pain in your body. And then of course, using the IceWave, this is our pain patch. This is instead of taking Tylenol or Motrin or ibuprofen. It's not going to fix your problem, but it's going to help you with that immediate pain. And definitely use these 2 as well too. Okay. When we look at arthritis, I can't talk about arthritis because that's a disease, according to, the medical system. But when I look at joint pain, right, problems with your joints, things not moving and fluid, we also look at glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant. I don't know where mine is right now. Master detoxer, immune booster. Oh, it's in the other room. But anyway, glutathione is the patch that kind of coats your joints, coats everything in your body. It's going to help to detox and boost that immune system. So it does work fantastic when you have joint pain. But know that using X39 Eon and using IceWave, on the spot where it hurts, is definitely going to be beneficial. But I want to talk about IceWave real quick. I was at my son's ball game a minute ago, and one of my new customers, she bought the X39 Eon and IceWave for her dad. He just had a tumor removed from his leg, and he's in a lot of pain in that area. And she just patched him, just got the patches in, X39 Eon yesterday. The IceWave, they actually used them the night before because they got him in the afternoon. And I said, hey, how did the IceWave work on his pain on his leg? And she's like, well, he was down there, and his wife was there, her stepmom. And she's like, he said it didn't get rid of his pain. And I asked her, I said, okay, so you placed the white patch on the right side of his leg, on the right leg, and you put the tan patch on the left leg. And she's like, no, I only saw the white patch and I put it wherever his pain was. I'm like, oh God, this happens every time. So when you look at this, this is a sleeve. Okay. This is a sleeve of IceWave. You see there is a divider. There's a divider right here. Do you see that? There are white patches and tan patches. So I got this out and I showed her and I said, white right, tan left. His pain is on his left leg, the inner thigh of his left leg. Stick that one on the inside of that left leg, come over to the right leg and put the white one in. She's like, Oh, that's probably why it didn't work. I'm like, yes. And then the daughter's over here going, it takes time. It's regenerative medicine. You're going to have to give it time. It's not going to heal the pain immediately. And I was like, well, it's not going to heal anything, but this will get rid of your pain on the spot if you apply it correctly. So just so you know, IceWave, 2 patches, definitely use them both. White right, tan left. There is a clockwise method if you want to look into that as well too. You can go to lifewavehealth.com on our YouTube channel, Lifewave's YouTube channel, and you can type in IceWave, Lifewave, and you can see David talking about the different ways to apply the patches. So why is it taking so long for us to hear about this technology and the company? Yeah, exactly right. Well, I'll tell you why. Because number one, David started this company working with the Navy SEALs, the USA Olympic swim team and the Stanford swim team. And so from there, it got into the horse arena here in the United States. We have a patch called AccuLife, which is for horses or pets. I swear I'm missing some patches right now. My husband or my son must have gotten my bag. But we have a patch for horses. It's identical to the IceWave, AccuLife and IceWave. There's nothing different. One's licensed for animals, one's licensed for humans. It's just the law. We have to do that. But it got into the arena of barrel racers. And so that's kind of how it was at in the United States. Some athletes and some horses, and it kind of stayed in that area. But it went into Japan, into Asia, and it took off like crazy in Asia. And so here in the United States, it wasn't really like, it was kind of, yeah, a little bit here and there. But again, staying very much in the athletic area. And then of course, if you can look at Michael Phelps, David Beckman, like you can see all these athletes that have used the patches over the years. You can see pictures of them. But it really was mostly in Asia. And 3 years ago, when David finally figured out how to signal the body to activate its own stem cells, then that's really when it started taking off here in the United States. Not that it wasn't here before, it was, but it really wasn't that prevalent until 3 years ago. And you know, guys know what happened back in the beginning of 2020, right? When the world kind of shut down, this had just been launched, and so people started utilizing Zoom to reach out to people. And being at home, nowhere to go, nothing to do, maybe, you know, jobs, things changed, they were starting to share with people on Zoom about X39 and what it was doing. And obviously it was so powerful, it not only took off in Asia like it had been, but also the rest of the world. And so we're really just, I found out about this 1.5 years ago, which was just 1.5 years after this was launched. And so it's just word of mouth. This has been done by people telling people, and you know how that happens when it catches on. You're like, oh my gosh, we've got to tell everybody about this. Why didn't I know about this sooner? I mean, I wish I would have known about this technology 20 years ago, but I just didn't, right? It's all divine timing, so it's fine. But before and after pictures. So we actually have a Telegram channel, Jennifer, that I can add you to, or I can have Jane add you to as well, that shows before and after pictures. We have a lot of those. And then also we can get you on the Facebook group as well too. So just Jennifer, Laura, do you care to put or Leah, one of you guys put my cell phone in the chat, and you guys can just text me if you're not in that group yet. What system patches would be for serious issues with the eyes? So when we look at the eyes, anything, again, we're doing X39 and Eon, right? But we also look at the Carnosine. Carnosine is a great patch that works a lot in the brain. Obviously the eyes are in the brain. So we like to use Carnosine. You can put it on the right side if you want to do that. Or you can really put it anywhere. Carnosine, again, everything's working systemically, but this is a great patch for your eyes. And of course, you know, using glutathione is always amazing as well too. So if you run out of patches, no, you can't use the old one. So a minute ago when I said the lattice structure, that dissipates after about 13 hours, sorry. And so the patch, you take it off, you throw it away. It's designed to do again the next day. This is a sleeve. A sleeve comes with a month's supply. If you put the patch back on again, it's not going to hurt you. You're just not going to get any benefits from it because it no longer has those active ingredients, that crystal lattice structure. They're no longer, so here's the way it works. Embedded in this crystal lattice structure is what's called a solution of chiral stereoisomers. Stereoisomers are specific molecules, right? Compounds that form together. Like I said, amino acids, sugars, oxygen, water, they come together. and they stay together perfectly fine on the patch. But when you apply that to your body's heat or light is communicating with that. It's reflecting back that specific wavelength of light. And so that's happening during the day for a 12-hour period. At the end of that 12-hour period, it starts to dissipate. It's no longer effective. We take it off and we throw it away. So it's definitely not something you would reuse again. You're just not going to get any benefits from it. Are chemicals in lotions and hair growth products something that could inhibit the progress of the patch? That's a great question. So what I just explained with it being a reflecting back a specific wavelength of light into our body, that means that there's nothing transferring through our body. Non-transdermal patch means no chemical, no substance, no nutrient has to go through the skin. So let me give you another analogy here, okay? If it were daytime, like if I was out on the West Coast right now and it's still sunny and the sun hits my skin, that's a specific wavelength of light, right? The sun has a very specific lots of wavelengths of light, but there is one specific wavelength of light in the sun, an ultraviolet light, that signals my body to increase its own vitamin D. Now, the sun's light hits my skin, but yet nothing goes into my skin but my vitamin D levels elevated. That's a fact, common knowledge. We know that, right? So it doesn't matter if I have lotion on. It doesn't matter if I have hair products on. It doesn't matter if I have chemicals in my lotion. When that sun hits my skin, it's going to elevate my vitamin D level. Now, again, that was an analogy. You don't need to be in the sun in order for this patch to work, but it does not matter what's on your skin. You could take this patch, let me hold a brand new one, just like this. Never take the back off of it and hold it in your hand. Your body's heat or light is reflecting back that signal at this very moment. You could stick this in this patch in your pocket just like this with the back still on it, and it's going to work. So it doesn't matter what's on your skin. It matters that you have it within about 2 to 3, 4 inches of your body, because that's how far out your body's heat or light comes out. That's just our body, right? So I hope that makes sense. Should we change your normal eating habits, vitamin take, or exercise while using your patches? So here's the thing, and this is what David says, and of course, spending 20 years in holistic health, it's fantastic. Nutrition is your foundation, right? Nutrition is your foundation. Supplementation or detoxification, do the things, exercise, good sleep, meditation, breath work, prayer, things like that are super important to your longevity, right? Your vitality. Do you have to have that? No, you do not have to have that. And believe it or not, the majority of people don't have that. And so they're in a lot of pain. They're having problems sleeping. Their mental clarities, mental faculties are not where they could or were before, could be or should be or were before. And so maybe their diet's not where it is, right? They've had exercise, they've not exercised in years or maybe ever even. Does the patch still work? Absolutely, it works. It absolutely works. No matter what you're eating, no matter what you're doing, would it be beneficial to eat healthy and have a great nutrition regimen and exercise and sleep? Absolutely. It can only improve your results and improve your life, your longevity, and your vitality. So I would never promote going out and eating Big Macs and fries and popcorn shrimp and Cokes and drinking a 12-pack and smoking a pack of cigarettes. Like, never would I recommend that. So it doesn't have to be that you start with a healthy diet and lifestyle. What happens with the patches, we see this too, is that we start to see people making healthier choices. They feel better. Listen, when you're not in pain, when you're sleeping great, and when you have mental clarity, you actually start to make better choices. You're happier. You feel like getting on the floor and playing with the grandkids. You feel like going for a walk or going for a swim, or maybe even taking a class at the Y or something like that. You have more energy and vitality about you when your pain is reduced, when your sleep is improved, and when your mental faculties are improved. And that's what we see happening with this patch. We see people improving their lifestyle, improving their choices because of a side effect, a benefit of using the patch every single day, because of improving your quality of life. So for people with low blood pressure, is there a risk given the patches can cause dehydration? So the patches don't cause dehydration. You're either hydrated or you're not. They don't cause you to be dehydrated at all. We want you to stay hydrated, drinking half your body weight in ounces in water every single day. because of your overall health. That's part of that diet, lifestyle, exercise, sleep, right? Staying hydrated is really important because, and again, with the patches, our cells are light, and the water, it works with the conductivity in the cells and the light to help you have even better results. I say stay hydrated. If you're not hydrated because you're not consuming your water, then you may have a headache or you may be a little fatigued. And that's why we just say, well, make sure you're drinking all your water. And you're like, well, I don't like water. I'm like, I don't care. You're an adult. So drink the water. It's for your health. It's for your life. It's for your future. Your body's 75% water. We need water. And it's really important that we do. So they definitely don't dehydrate you, though. And it's not going to cause you to have low blood pressure. Or if you do have low blood pressure, it's not going to bottom your blood pressure out by any means. So stay hydrated. Do the Eon and X39 have to be next to each other on your body? Nope. You can stick them anywhere you want. Any help with nerve pain, burning, pins, needles, or numbness? Yeah, so definitely use the X39, the Eon, that IceWave. We love to use IceWave on the bottoms of the feet, the balls of the feet, that K1 spot, white right, tan left. We like to put the IceWave there, and we also like to put it at the low back, which helps with the opening up the energy channels. So that kind of helps with that nerve pain. Some people that have nerve pain in their fingers, they'll put the IceWave on the wrist right here to help the energy, to help that subside. We have Dr. PV, who's a chiropractor of 40 years in our organization, focuses on neuropathy and nerve pain. And so you can watch Debbie asks, maybe Laura can send you the recording if you're for the Telegram channel. Dr. PV you can listen to him talk about what he utilizes with his patients that have that nerve pain. But he uses carnosine and glutathione as well too, honestly. But he does X39, Eon, and 2 sets of IceWave. So a few patches promote bone density or regrowth. Whether this is specific areas or where everywhere a person has oral bone loss resulting in loss of teeth. So when you use the X39 and X49, X49 is the patch that David invented, came out last year, that helps building muscle mass, reduce body fat, stops bone loss, and improves bone density, improves your heart, blood pressure, pulse rate, brain, blocks EMFs, it does amazing things. But when you use X39 and X49 together, you don't get to pick if it goes to repair the bone in your jaw or repair the bones in your legs or your knees. It's just like the stem cell activation patch, the X39. You can't pick where the stem cells are going to repair and regenerate first. The body knows where to go, and it does that in order of what it needs first in order to survive. And what is the most damaged, it'll start to go to work there. So using the X39 and 49 would be fantastic, but you can't pick where they go, where that starts happening first. Do you have to use IceWave with Eon and X39 all during the day? No. Some people use the IceWave at night while they're sleeping to eliminate pain while they sleep, which helps them have a better quality of sleep. And they use X39 and Eon during the day. Thank you, Laura, for putting my number in there. Are the toxins from toxic products inhibiting our progress with the patch, the chemicals? So they will not inhibit your progress. It's always wonderful to detox your body. Think of your body like a car. A car gets an oil change about every 3,000 miles, which may be every month or 3 months, depending on how much you drive, right? So let's just say every 3 months. Once a quarter, you're getting an oil change. And your body needs an oil change once a quarter too. We need a detox, whether it's a 24-hour fast, no food, or whether it's a juice cleanse, or, cutting out all sugar and dairy, or, gluten for a 24-hour period, or actually cut out sugar, dairy, and gluten for the rest of your life. That'd be fantastic. But we need some type of detox. The patches don't not work if you're toxic. They actually do help your body detox, and it's a fantastic thing. So definitely get on the X39 Eon glutathione if you're seriously toxic. Also carnosine, it's a huge antioxidant as well too. It detoxes aluminum out of your brain. If you have any fillings, amalgam fillings, mercury, things like that are in your body, you want to get those toxins out for sure. But the patches still work if you have toxins in your body. We all have toxins in our body. Every single person on the planet has toxins, from the environment, from the water, from the food. We all have toxins. So you can never be completely toxin free, but you do want to do your best in at least doing, glutathione, carnosine daily to get rid of those toxins. And then, look at quarterly kind of things for, bigger detoxes. After using this technology for a reasonable amount of time, are there any tests that we can complete to show results or positive changes in our body? So we have a lot of practitioners we work with, and everybody has different tools, modalities, ways that they test the body. Obviously, you can be going to your regular physician and get your blood work, right? You can see your blood work and see, okay, these are the numbers that are out of line. And then you can go back again and see numbers come back into alignment. You can do different types of testing. As you can see from our clinical studies, we do HRV tests, we do EEGs, EKGs, we do BioWell, we do biofeedback, neurofeedback, we do blood work, we do microscopy, we do urine analysis, neurotransmitter hair, we do all that kind of stuff. And so it's really your own choice what you want to do. You can definitely do any kind of testing you want. You don't have to do just blood work. You can do whatever. If you work with a naturopathic doctor, holistic doctor, like I said, all practitioners use different tools to be able to test their clients. So as far as quit smoking, that's a great question. So we would use the X39 and Eon, of course. There's a patch called Sp6 that's in one of our addiction protocols. Sp6 does a lot, but it does help curb appetites, and it helps with balancing your entire endocrine system and your organs as well too. And so when we get that endocrine system, that is our hypothalamus, our pituitary gland, looking at your thyroid and your adrenals and all of that stuff. So it's a great patch that we utilize in that protocol to help people with addictions and stopping things. Nirvana also works really well. Nirvana is our bliss patch. So it works with the neurotransmitters and hormones in your brain. And so we really see that helps people stay calm and relaxed. And of course, Eon does as well too, but in a different way. How, if in your pocket with backing still on, does it activate the crystal lattice? It's hard to wrap my head around that, I know. So here's the way this works. We are light. We are light. We are trillions of cells of light. We emit, E-M-I-T, we emit a low-level infrared light. Body heat, feel yourself. You're 98.6. So when you put the patch on the body, our body's heat or light, or if you're holding the patch, or if you put the patch in your pocket, that light or heat that we're emitting is communicating with this patch. Remember, there's nothing in the patch. So it doesn't matter if the back's on it or not. Okay, there's nothing in it. So it's not about a substance going in the body. It's a biophotonic exchange of information. Our body's light communicating with the light, reflecting back that wavelength of light that's in this. It's no different than the sun or a red light therapy. That light is not coming on your body. It's not coming into your body. It's out here. It's photobiomodulation. And so if I'm at the esthetician and she's done with my facial and she's like, okay, we're going to put you under the red light to stimulate your collagen and elastin production, and you're going to lay there for the next 15 minutes. She puts little goggles on you, right? And here I am. And so this light is coming into my skin, but it's not touching my skin. All right. The red light's coming through my body because I'm a body. I'm a body. And so the light can come through my body, just like the sunlight can come through my body, because it's a wavelength of light. Wavelengths of light travel through things. Okay. And so this patch, whether there's a back on it or not, we are the light source. Okay, we are the light because we emit heat or light. And so whether we're holding it or whether it's stuck on our body's light is reflecting back that specific wavelength into our body. So just in your pocket, just like this, try it out. See, just don't take a dozen patches, please take one and stick it in your pocket. If you take a dozen in there, you may be like, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? I had somebody do that once last year. But yeah, it definitely, if you want to go to Lifewave Health on YouTube and watch some of the videos from David, he can explain it to you. We also have a PDF that really goes into the science and technology of how this works. But light is not new. Okay. It's very well known that we emit that low level infrared light because we see that through night vision goggles. And it's very well known that specific wavelengths of light, think of a microwave. Unfortunately, the wavelengths of coming off of a microwave, right? Think about it. It kills your food, but you don't want to stand in front of a microwave when it's working. It's no different than like an X-ray machine or a radiation machine or a CT scanner. Those all emit wavelengths, and they're not good for you, right? Those are harmful wavelengths of light that are being emitted, electromagnetic fields, right? EMFs. And so, but we know they enter our body. That's why we wear that shield when you're getting an X-ray, because you don't want that type of electromagnetic field, that EMF or that wavelength coming into your body. And so when we use the patch, we know that we, like I said, emit that light. Our body's light communicates with the patch, and so reflects back a really beneficial wavelength, the specific wavelength. And you can see on the PDF, it'll show the exact nanometers that's in that, like around that 400 and something to 800 and something nanometers. Skin issues, Jennifer, definitely X39 Eon. Alavida is fantastic for skin. Oh, I don't know if an adult tooth can regrow. I have no idea. We've seen great results from people with their dental results, going back every 6 months, every 12 months. Obviously, we've seen it. I can't say that it's going to help your tooth regrow. I have no idea. But we've seen great results with pockets, and we've seen people have huge improvements in their teeth and their gums. Any research studies you can participate in, people always ask me that. That's not something that's ever been shared. We don't have an open forum or an open place to go to register. The studies are done all over the world. They're done with independent doctors and labs. And so we don't have a way to access like which doctor or which lab, or it's not something that Lifewave does in office. Sometimes they do. Obviously, David's always doing his own studies on stuff, but they're very much outside because that's double-blind placebo, really important that it's not just our company buying the results, right? We want things that are independent. And so we don't have a specific place for that. You did 3 at once, not knowing. Yeah, exactly. Zoom, you're going. I love it. Where do you find the PDF? So Karen, just get back with the person that invited you. They can definitely send you. It's a story of Lifewave. That PDF, it's about 52 pages. We have a health tracker that's only 1 page front and back, but we do have a 52-page PDF that is fantastic, in depth, like literally everything. If you're a reader, that's definitely going to give you. And again, go to startx39now.com. That PDF is on that website as well too. But you can definitely see all the clinical studies and research. How does it help pets if it's on the collar and not directly on the skin? Same way it helps people if it's in their pocket and not directly on their skin. Remember, nothing's coming into the body, whether you're an animal or a human, it's a wavelength of light. And so it doesn't have to be on the skin in order for it to work. It can just be on the collar. It can be in their bed and they can lay on it. That's perfectly fine too. So I have familial genes that provide bags under my eyes. Will the X39 Eon only help reduce the bags? X39 and Eon only help reduce the bags. So we don't have any clinical studies with genes that cause bags under the eyes. So I would say looking at the face, the skin, right? I would use the X39 Eon, of course, but I would also use the Alavida. The Alavida is designed, it signals a peptide in your brain in the pineal gland. So it's designed specifically, number 1, to work on the skin, whether it's lines, wrinkles, dark spots, bags, different types of skin issues, skin tags, the discoloration of the skin, different things like that, psoriasis, eczema. So it can only help. We've seen huge results again in our before and after pictures of what happens to people with their face, their skin, their body. X39, of course, helps with that as well too. But definitely those 3, X39 Eon and glutathione, Alavida for the skin. No latex in the patches. Is 3M hypoallergenic patch. So I have heard that the energy enhancer helps with eyes. Yeah, we do have different things that you can utilize with energy enhancer. Like put them on the inside. I don't really get too much into protocols. Honestly, we have fantastic protocols. I have a lot of practitioners, like I said, that utilize them. But I know I've heard David talk over and over again about using X39 Eon and Carnosine with the eyes. So you can definitely use energy enhancer if you want to put one on each side right here during the day. You can do that. It's not designed to improve the eyes. So if it does, that's amazing. But we know the vision's actually in the back of the head, right? When you look back there at the visual cortex is in the back of the brain. The optic nerve goes back there. But using energy enhancer is to help to trigger beta oxidation and turn body fat into fuel and turn over your lymphatic system, open up energy channels. So it can't hurt you. We'll just say that. What patches would help to recover from a recently toe removed because of diabetes? Oh, so repairing, looking at X39 Eon Carnosine. Carnosine's great for tissue repair. And carnosine is also fantastic for the glycation process. So we see huge benefits in the pancreas with carnosine as well. Sp6 too, but and Alavida, my God, the clinical studies are amazing, you guys. I mean, they're amazing. So you're confused. Okay, so you thought that it worked dependently on the light from the body and being reflected back. Correct, but our body's light or heat comes out about 4 inches. And so it's not like you have to be in contact with that light, like as far as touching it in order for it to work. It can just be in your pocket. And so it can be, that's what we always say, like, don't keep these, right next to your body and in your side, your fanny pack or something. You want to make sure that you've got, like when I did an event a couple of weeks ago and I had all the men, I'm like, okay, put yours in this envelope. Don't put it in your billfold or put it in your pocket and wear it right now. So it's working with that light that comes out about 4 inches, our body heat. When you sit down next to somebody, you're like, oh, you can feel their heat. Like, they're hot, get away from me. Or you may be like, oh my God, I'm cold. Let me get closer. I can feel your heat coming off your body. And so that is what is working with our patch. But definitely go to startx39now.com. You'll be able to read the research and maybe watch some of David's videos as well too. Yeah, definitely great questions. Carnosine on the temple during the day. Love it. Yeah. Can it be used on a 10-year-old with eczema? We don't have any clinical studies on kids. Okay. So I can't say, if you told me, can it be used on someone that has a skin issue, like I just mentioned with eczema, X39, Eon, Alavida. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I can't say for a child because we have no studies on children. The first 2 people I patched are my kids. So it's your personal choice. Can it hurt a child? There's nothing going into the body. There's nothing that can harm a child. There's nothing that can harm an adult because there's nothing going into the body. It's signaling the body to do what it's supposed to do, which is to be into balance. And because it's out of balance, right? It's signaling different peptides to help the body get into balance. Can you just use Alavida? Yeah, you absolutely can. Can you just use X39? Of course. You'll probably get that cleared up pretty quickly. What would you recommend for female thinning hair? X39 and X49, 100%. We see hair growth faster in 60 days than minoxidil ever thought about. Has it been successful with teens with anxiety and depression? So if you would say, has it been successful with someone that's dealing with anxiety and depression? I would say absolutely. X39 Eon's our happy patch. Not only does it reduce inflammation, it helps put your body in that parasympathetic state, that calm, relaxed state. But also using the Nirvana system is fantastic. It's our mood balancer, stabilizer, enhancer. So it helps elicit that blissful state, increasing your beta endorphins. Again, like I said earlier, working with neurohormones and transmitters in the brain. So we see that it really stabilizes the mood and balances the mood. It's really great what it does for the brain. Okay, so how about menstrual cramps? Oh, thank you, Rachel. Menstrual cramps, so you would use X39, Eon, IceWave. You could put them all over your stomach if you wanted to, or you could just, use the IceWave on your stomach on that, that lower abdominal area. That would help for sure. So we have time for just a couple more questions. If you need to unmute yourself, then you definitely can to ask your question, or you can type it in the chat. Any other questions before we wrap it up today? So, okay, so we can't talk specifically about MS because that's a disease, right? So when we look at the brain neurologically, how can we help the brain be in its best shape? We would look at X39, Eon, X49, and Carnosine. Those are our 4 patches for brain and for heart. You can use the X39, you can use just the X39. Please understand that you can just use that patch. I do not know that it's going to address your brain right away. You may be thinking, I need this to fix my neurological issues, and it's going, I'm sorry, your spleen is shot. We're going to go over here and work on that. Or you've got connective tissue issues, or your liver is a mess. I'm going to work on it. Like, you can't pick where your body's stem cells go first. So when I talk to you about other patches, you're asking me about a specific thing. You can just use X39. You can just use X39 and Eon. Eventually, all of the things on your list will get checked off. Will that be 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, 36 months? I don't know. I have no idea how long it's going to take for your entire body to repair. But if you're like, I need my brain fixed right now. Okay, throw on X39, X49, Eon, and Carnosine. Your brain's going to be amazing. We can see with those 4 patches in 30 days, like literally cognitive decline gone. We can see huge improvements, even in a 30-day period. So, and again, everything that comes out of my mouth is coming out of David's mouth. I listen to him, I memorize everything he says, and I just share it again. That's all I'm doing. Thank you, Cindy. You're so sweet. Stomach issues, X39, Eon. You can use the glutathione carnosine as well too on the tummy. Sp6 is fantastic for the digestive system, the intestines. So really kind of, I would have a little, I mean, stomach issues is broad. That's a really broad thing to say, but I'm glad you didn't say a specific disease. But kind of maybe ask a little bit more what's going on. I had a lady last week just with X39 alone. It helped her stomach issues get moving in just a matter of a few days. And then I had a lady that didn't go but once or twice a month, and it took her 5 months to balance her digestive system. But 5 months later, I mean, she hasn't had a normal bowel movement in 20 years. And then after 5 months, she's perfect. So X39, Eon, glutathione would be huge. Sp6, I've got a doctor on my team, Dr. Mel. She focuses on gut health. And her 4 things for her clients are X39, Eon, glutathione, and Sp6 for digestive issues. Edema is definitely the energy enhancer. It turns over the lymphatic system faster. So definitely the energy enhancer. And again, X39 Eon for sure. Yep, it definitely can assist with symptoms. How can we locate doctors who work with these patches? So Carrie, get back with the person that invited you. They can help you. We're all connected together here to be able to help each other. So I work directly with the leaders in my organization who obviously they've invited somebody's invited you, that kind of thing. We're all just, sharing word of mouth. We don't have like a specific doctor that you can say, okay, go to this office or call this number and you can talk about your problems and we can give you your answers. We will work with you to be able to help you. If you have specific questions about your health, get with that person that invited you. If you need to, get in a 3-way chat with me, we can definitely do that if that's something that you need. But we don't have a specific doctor to locate for the patches. Just get back with that person that invited you. Spine injury from military, will this help with cervical area? Yeah, so you definitely want to look at that X39, X49 and the Eon. That would definitely help. Absolutely. Yeah, me too. I love listening to David. Neck issues due to car accident, as well as my sister and daughter. All of us have relief from neck pain. Oh, that's fantastic to hear, Rhonda. Thank you for sharing. Cough and runny nose, double up on your glutathione for sure. X39, you know what's funny? So I can't talk specifically about scoliosis, but I can tell you what David said about having curves in your spine. He shared this last year when I was in California. It was the second event I went to with him. And he said, put an Eon on the location of the curve and then go down below it and put the IceWave, white right, tan to the left side of the spine. And he said they saw huge differences in just 7 days. So Eon on the spine where the curve is, obviously X39 of course on your body, but IceWave on the white right, tan left below that curve. Have you had success with people who have severe gluten sensitivity? Yeah, absolutely. That's again, Dr. Mel focuses on gut, the microbiome and food sensitivities. And so using those 4 patches, the X39, Eon, glutathione, and carnosine, glutathione and Sp6, she has been able to, with her clients, reduce dramatically, including herself, the food sensitivities. Yes. Oh, I love that. Yay. Yeah. A lot of people say they lose weight with Sp6. Balances that endocrine system. So fantastic. Okay. Does insurance pay for this? So some people do have health savings accounts that do cover it. It depends on your plan. You obviously have a card that comes with your health savings account, so we can try that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I can't say that all health savings accounts works. I've had both, but insurance, we do not have anything to do with insurance. You can definitely patch directly on the area of pain with X39 or Eon if you want to. You can also put it on top of your toe or on the bottom of your foot or on top of your head. It's going to work systemically, so it works wherever it wants. IceWave, you want to put directly on the pain. Absolutely. Yes, definitely. You can put it on your spot. Of course, you can definitely put it on your spot. Coughs and colds, you want to use your X39 and Eon, of course, but double up on your glutathione. You can put glutathione like right up in here in this chest area. But I would definitely, double up on that for a few days. That seems to get rid of things pretty quickly. So fantastic. Oh, that's great to hear. All right, you guys. Well, we are out of time today. If you have more questions, get back with the person that invited you. They can help you. They can help you make a decision. Like I said, if you're looking at what do I start with, there's a lot of stuff you talked about, Staci. That's because you guys had specific questions. X39 and Eon is where you start. This is our dynamic duo. So you can actually get a wholesale pack with 2 months of each of these. In that wholesale pack, there's no sign-up fees or a monthly, commitments or anything like that. You can get 2 months of the X39, 2 months of the Eon for $2.99. So get back with the person that invited you. They can help you get set up with that. If there's something else you want to try, we can mix and match and, switch out what's in your cart to meet your needs. So please know that we're here to help you and support you in whatever your journey is. And we're grateful you're here, and we will see you guys again next week.